searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
Alrighty, and we are back for another week of Scheananigans. We've got Kiki and Krystina back in the studio with me. How we doing?
Good.
How was your weekend? Do you want to tell us about last night? Because I can tell you're still like beaming.
Oh my God, what happened?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I've talked about it before, but I play Dungeons and Dragons. And so I play with this group sometimes called Dimension 20. So last night, Dimension 20 played the Hollywood Bowl. And it's like a packed house playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I mean, like, they have like full pyrotechnics, like blowing up like boom, boom. And it's like you're seeing like the dice rolls up on screen. It was amazing. And it's like, it's personal to me because like the arc that I'm in, Pirates of Leviathan, kind of like ties in. There's characters in their story that are in ours. So it's kind of like our little crossover. And it's like they sold out Madison Square Garden a couple of months ago.
Crazy.
Like this is Dungeons and Dragons, like on a stage. And it's just like all these people in the audience that are fully into it and just like seeing my friends. And we're in this section where it's just like you look over and it's like everybody we've ever been on the channel with is there. And it's just like this big family reunion. And we're like, ah! And it was just
so fun.
It was so cool just to see like your friends up there.
Yeah.
Killing it.
The Hollywood Bowl, that's iconic.
Yeah, I love that.
And then we went to the Roosevelt. And so I got to like be by the big sign
Have
on
you
the like
slept?
top of the roof. I did. I slept. I went to sleep at like 2:30.
Okay.
It was.
What time did the kids wake you up?
Zoe looked at me at about 7:15 and she's like, "Wake up. Do you want to play with my computer?" Because she found her little like pink fake laptop little thing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she's like the little VTech one.
Uh-huh.
I actually think I got it because I found it in Brock's story like years ago. And I was like, that is actually really smart if I want to work.
Yeah.
And so she's just sitting there like on her thing. And I'm like, Mommy doesn't want to work right now. Mommy's going to work in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Summer was up at 6 this morning because she fell asleep so early. So we were in San Diego this weekend. Brock decided he was just going to do the San Diego Marathon, the rock and roll marathon.
Oh my God.
26.2 miles. Has not trained. But he trained for his Ironman, you say? Sure. Months ago, he was training for a half Ironman, which is a half marathon at the end of the swimming and the biking. This is a full 26.2 mile marathon. He, at most, I think, after the Ironman, did maybe 9 or 10 miles when we were in New York. Like once. A couple miles here and there on the treadmill, ran around the neighborhood, maybe once. So I'm trying to really live in the let them theory, let him, let them, whatever it's, you know? And I'm like, I think it's a terrible idea. I worry that you're going to have a heart attack. I have heard so many things about, you know, athletes in like their 30s when they're young and then athletes are just dropping dead from like heart attacks.
Yeah.
I genuinely worry about that with Brock. So I'm already like my OCD. I've upped the Zoloft, which has actually, it is helping the intrusive thoughts. But I'm just like worried he's going to get injured or die of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I really wanted to go out and celebrate Pride. Happy Pride Month to everyone. Woo! But I was like, you know what? I think it's smarter to just go down to San Diego, be there just in case, you know, visited our old neighbors, met the people who are living in my house. So weird. I'm like, you're on my balcony. And I was like, hi, hope you're
renting it out or you sold your house?
No. So we were just renting down there.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we got rid of it because they would not sell it to us. It's like a generational thing. And the woman who owns it has dementia, and she's in a nursing home, but nothing's going to happen to it until she passes. And
you're not going to be Katy Perry. Exactly.
You know, so I'm just like, she's actually doing well. And so I'm like, I can't keep spending like over $6,000 a month for rent.
Yeah.
When I have a mortgage, now 2 mortgages. So we're staying with our old neighbors. Summer absolutely loves them. And then yesterday we're driving back from San Diego and I'm just like, please just stay awake for the drive. Stay awake because we were there until about 5:30. So for her to nap on that, and there's no traffic at all. We're getting back in 2 hours. But I did not want her to fall asleep. So first hour, we're good. She wanted her window shade up. So I pull over. I put that up for her. And we get back on the freeway. Carlsbad, Oceanside. Mom, I have to pee. And I'm like, no, there is nowhere. That strip where I was like, hey, Siri. I'm like, where's the closest restroom? There's one like 30 miles south or 40 miles. No, and I was like, okay. I'm like, well, she has a potty in the car. So I'm like, I'll pull over. Oh, but there's no exits. There's like Camp Pendleton and then like nothing else. And so finally I see an exit. I'm like, we got this, honey. Just hold it a couple more minutes. We got this. So we exit, we pull over. It's just like a dirt road. I set her potty up for her. And then I'm like, now mommy has to go. My ass cannot fit on that tiny little travel potty.
It can't.
So I opened the back door. I opened the front door. And I was like, mommy has to go too. And so I just pop a squat, We've all done it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And she's like, mommy, why are you peeing on the floor? I was like, honey, mommy has to be really bad. Okay, I can't fit on your potty. It's like trying to do it while there's like a strip of no cars driving by. I swear, after you push out a baby, the stream is not so straight. If it once was, I don't know, it's not. I definitely peed on my ankle. She got a kick out of it. But right when we get back in the car, she's comfortable. She feels good. Knocks out. And I'm like, fuck. She was playing on the beach all day. She didn't have a bath the day before. I was like, oh, no. We are getting in the bath. Miserable to wake up a sleeping child. I get in the bath with her and she's just complaining the whole time. Then she's back to sleep immediately. Wakes up at 5:59 this morning. Mommy, do you want to play the Stitch game?
Oh my God.
And when she calls it a game, she's meaning like a skit. She likes to act out parts of the movie. So she wants me at 5:59 a.m. to start acting out the Stitch movie. And I'm Stitch and she's Lilo. And I'm like, girl, I cannot. Do you want to watch something on the TV? Let's put on a movie.
You just have to say Tuki ba 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 over and over again in a low growl.
Yeah. Oh.
I love when kids want to do the acting stuff with you, but then like you have to be a participant and like you really have to. And I'm not an improv girl, so I'm like, it's very difficult for me. I'm like, this is fun, but also, can you just do the acting and I watch and cheer? But like, why do I have to be a participant?
No, I'm fully in it. We do the Anna and Elsa game, and I told her, I was like, honey, these are called like skits or like sketches. I don't like that. It's a game. I'm like, okay, we'll play the game. But I did sign her up for an improv class this fall.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we'll see if she likes that because she loves acting, but she also is shy. She warms up and then she's all over the place, but I do want her to just get over that. It's not even necessarily stage fright at her dance recital. She's fine, but sometimes she just gets shy.
I hope we get a Summer Moon TikTok at the end of this. I take improv very seriously.
Right? Oh my God, I love it. How was your weekend? What'd you do?
I was actually everyone was partying this weekend. I felt like everyone was out. I was at home, like giving my cats baths, like changing out the air filters. I was doing like a house cleanse for my.
Give your cats a bath?
My rug. Like, ooh. I don't know if your algorithm is the same. Like, I keep seeing these rug rakes, and I'm like, I vacuum all the time. Like, no, that rug rake. There's so much cat hair in your rug that is not getting vacuumed up.
No, I've seen those.
Anyway, so I just spent a lot of time just like zenning out, raking my rug.
Okay, but go back to the cat bath.
Yes.
How?
I had to do it because I feel like in the summer they start shedding like right before summer a lot.
No, but how did you get a cat in the bath without clawing the shit out of you?
No, I was shocked. I hadn't given them a bath in a very long time because the last time was a traumatizing experience. And they were actually, I don't know if it's because they're older, I got maybe one sort of like deep meow, no clawing or anything. I didn't even have to wear the crazy, I have gloves that go up to the elbows.
Oh,
they were I was shocked. I was actually like, maybe because I was in such a zen place, they were in a zen place. Because before it was like a fight to the death.
Because I need to give Salem a bath. I just have been getting a washcloth and cleaning out his paws. When I don't even know if it was when I was out of town or whatever it was, but I think the litter robot got stuck. And so because it didn't rotate, then he dug through the shit and then jumped on my white bed. And so I'm like trying to clean his paws out. And I'm like, I wish I could just soak you in the bath.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do you give a cat a bath?
Yeah, no.
Take him to the vet.
You did the sink or like the tub?
I did the tub and like I did the whole thing and they were very chill. But who knows if that's just like a one-time thing. But I was very happy and proud of myself.
Yeah.
Is it warm? Did you make it like a hot
I
tub
did.
warm?
And I had like a little, cup that I was just sort of like, I wasn't dunking them. I just had a cup that formed warm water and I was like, pouring it over them. And so only their paws were in the water.
Yeah, that's all I want. I just want to clean his paws. I brush them all of the time. Summer loves brushing them.
Yeah.
But also everything in my house is white. Which people are like, you have a toddler. I'm like, I know, but the Lovesac couch is machine washable. That's one of the selling points that got me on it. But her bed, her comforter is white. My bed, my comforter is white. The sheets are white. And when he gets a little bit of shit in his paws, literally, it ends up on my bed. It's disgusting. But I'm not going to be like, you can't sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
But Brock is just like, you're fucking cats. And I'm like, I know, they love you.
I do have to tell you something else about the weekend.
Okay.
What?
Because I went to Ezekiel's class picnic and I was really excited to like go, but the season finale of Doctor Who was coming on and they were going to simulcast it across the globe. So I didn't want it to be spoiled.
Yeah.
And I was like dead set on it. I stayed up 12:01. I'm like, okay, it's going to start. 12:02. Okay, Disney Plus is not uploading the episode. What's happening? I don't understand. I don't know what time it is in the UK right now, but I need to be able to watch this. So no, I had gotten it wrong. They were going to air it on Sunday, but I got the time transition wrong. So I opened my phone while I'm at my son's class picnic with all of these other parents, all of these kids. I open it. The very first thing I see is a spoiler of what happens in the episode.
No.
And this show is important to me. I love this show. When I tell you that I had a full body visceral reaction and stood up like,
they're like, what happened?
and I was like, there was a regeneration. And everybody is looking at me like, what are you talking about? Like they're thinking somebody in my family is like hurt or injured. And I'm just like, you don't understand. I wasn't emotionally prepared for it to happen. And I'm having a full body like nerd reaction to like what happened on this show and in public. And just to all the parents at the picnic, I would like you to know that I was completely fine, but emotionally distraught. So that's my public apology for acting a damn fool.
I love it. I love how passionate you are, you know?
Listen, it's like when you're going through stuff to be able to watch something that gives you hope or that like enables you to just go away from your problems and go into something else, but also to have a story that's just invigorating and powerful, and you have this community with it, and then to be able to work for them and to like do the podcast of a show that I've like been invested in for all these years.
Yeah, that's
and
so
it's
dope.
just like, it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that for you. We have some very fun, unpopular opinions that I want to get into, but we're going to take a quick break first and then see if you guys agree with these or not.
Ooh.
Okay, so if you've been to my house, you know I look like a Wayfair commercial the second you enter my space. But now, as I've told you before, I have added new outdoor furniture in our backyard, and it has just changed everything. Like, there's just something about a beautiful outdoor space that is so satisfying. I love to feel like my backyard is just my little oasis, my little escape. And Wayfair has everything you need to level up your outdoor space. After we ordered stuff for outside, I was like, you know what? I think I need to switch it up inside. And we got some new bar stools for our kitchen island. And I am obsessed. They literally have something for everyone and everything. But going back to outdoor seating, because, you know, summer is coming up soon, they have conversation sets, chase lounges, club chairs, outdoor sofas. And if you want to get crazy to make your home really feel like an oasis, you can do a gazebo, a hot tub. I mean, so many things, patio cushions, planters. The list goes on and on. Like I said, there's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or budget. So don't wait. Make your outdoor space your dream oasis today with Wayfair and enjoy it all summer long. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Okay, now I want to tell you guys again about my favorite products from Bon Charge, because their red light face mask is for me, it's for my husband, and it is for you. There's so many things that this red light face mask helps with. So for me, it's mostly my fine lines, but also whenever I have a sore jaw, it also can help for that. So I don't have to, Botox in my TMJ. Eczema. I also have an issue with this. I mean, it's good for so many things. For Brock, ingrown facial hair, relaxation, the list goes on and on. And red light therapy has been reviewed in over 4,000 peer-reviewed studies, with 400 plus being double-blind placebo trials. So not only do these studies have amazing health benefits, but not one has shown any negative side effects. All you do is 10 to 20 minutes each day. It's nice and easy to use. You can use it while you're watching TV, literally walking around the house, cleaning, doing laundry, cooking, putting the kids to bed, etc. And let me tell you, Summer gets a kick out of it when Brock and I have this mask on because, I don't know, we look like a superhero or something. It's also got a 1-year warranty, sleek, lightweight design, 0 flickers, 0 EMF radiation. So if you want to be like Brock and I, then you should try Bond Charge. It also ships worldwide in rapid time. Go to bondcharge.com and use coupon code GOODASGOLD to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/GOODASGOLD and use coupon code GOODASGOLD to save 15%. All right, so I was scrolling for a minute. I don't do it often, but whenever one of y'all sends me something, then I'll like watch that, and then it's, that's how
get
you
sucked
do
in.
it. So I saw this TikTok that it asked people to share through their unpopular Bravo opinions in the comments. I feel like a lot of them are probably on the popular side, but since I have, some Bravo historians here with me today, I thought it would be fun to get your take on some
I
of
love
them.
it.
So messy.
All right. Real Housewives of New York. Bravo should have gotten rid of Ramona instead of Jill on Roni.
That's a hard one because, like, Ramona is problematic, but she makes really good television. Like, who else is going to shit on the floor
What?
multiple times? Like,
Hard
not
to
just
hang
camera?
once. On camera.
Just shit on the floor.
Just
Not like you see kind of like the after of the
Like just popped a squat like I did on the side
no,
of the road,
like
but
it just
shit.
comes out of her booty. Like she can't control it. Like they
Like she has IBS.
one was
it was like Cartagena. There was a whole thing where everybody got sick and everybody was like
shitting on the
and
floor.
she left a little
Yes.
trail, like I think from her like through the bedroom or through the hallway on the white tile.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's like what Salem did in my house the other day. He's a cat.
So yeah, it's hard because like I mean she makes good television.
Jill is also great television. I'm sorry, the second she comes in with a hi, I love Jill's ear, and I think I really wish we could have like seen like her life after that point and like R.I.P. Bobby, like just see like that kind of them getting older together. And I would like to see what's up with her dating this dude. But listen, I love old people dating. That's why I love like Love Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Are you
Because-
watching it?
Oh my,
Yeah.
I want to watch Luann date for the rest of my life.
I want
don't
to take a
want
Luann
anything.
dating course.
This woman is confident in a way I could never be. What do you mean? And I'm choosing him because he's tall. Like that she'll say this junk to their face, and you're just like, Luann, like what? How? I don't know, man. Like I guess she just knows herself and she's sure of herself, but keep her on my TV forever and always.
Well, any man who can get a count to propose to her and get married in 2 weeks
Right?
after, I mean,
That's
I'd be
wild.
pretty confident too.
Yeah.
Do y'all think her and Joe Bradley had sex?
Yeah. Oh. Of course.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna get in them people's bedrooms or Jesse and Erica's. Like that ain't none of my business. I'm just gonna be
Because
like,
it's never been like publicly confirmed, right? Or denied.
I feel like I feel like on the reunion was the first time Joe Bradley finally admitted this past Southern
That
Hospitality
something
reunion.
happened.
He finally admitted something
Yeah.
happened.
I know what happened. I was just wondering what you thought.
the freaking godmother of Bravo
I know,
over here.
right?
Okay, moving on to Salt Lake City. I don't think Jen should have a platform after release.
I don't agree with that. Only because, you know what? Look, we gave Teresa her like return home thing. And, we're living in times where, I don't know, criminals seem to be very popular. We got the Grizzlies coming out. They're going to have their own show. I don't know. Like, it should be equal for all, right?
Yeah.
And listen, I get it. She defrauded the elderly. There's a lot of stuff. However, we are watching stories of flawed people on these shows. We know these people are flawed. We were able to kind of watch the downfall, watch the disintegration. Like, I want to see, like, what comes after this.
Mhm.
You can make that decision after,
Mhm.
but I do want to know what happened. Like, maybe we just do a one-off special. And, I mean, the girls are, like, doing great on their own, but throw that in there as out there as Salt Lake City is,
Mhm.
then you put Jen back in there, and she might be like a more humbled version of
Mhm.
herself, a more chill version of herself, and then put Elizabeth Holmes in there with them too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
wanna-
they're besties from prison
Yeah.
now. So I want to see them
Right.
like interact on the show.
I
want to see the
love
workout.
redemption, and like I want to see Jen and her white refrigerator era. She's gonna have to get that apartment because she can't afford that chateau or whatever
Not a white
anymore.
refrigerator.
And also, here's the thing: I want these people to go back to work because I want them to pay restitution. I want the people that they defrauded to
Yes.
still be able to get.
Mhm.
And so they're not going to do that if they're not employed, and they really can only be employed in like probably one arena.
That's true.
Yeah.
What do we think about the Chrisleys being pardoned?
You know, the thing was, I came across a TikTok last night of emails that were being read, and I was kind of like, are these people, should they have been pardoned? Because it's like, it's not, I don't know. And so I feel conflicted about the whole thing. But at the end of the day, like everything is chaos right now. And so I don't know. I'm just going to be observe and report. Just going to watch it go down.
Yeah.
I always think about on the show Once Upon a Time, where every time Rumpelstiltskin does something, he's like, all magic comes with a price. And so I just wonder, like, what the price they're going to have to pay for that pardon is.
Yeah, because how many years early did they get out?
I mean, they had a 12-year sentence. They'd spent 2.5 years. So
Wow.
pretty, yeah.
I do like
Wild.
that the second he came out, he immediately spoke to the disparity that he noticed in prison and how he's like, I received fair treatment and I watched people not receive fair treatment.
Mhm.
And I feel like if he is going to come out and use that platform,
Yeah.
because they've already got another show coming. If he is going to use that platform to help the people that he saw in prison, like get jobs, find programs or different ways to put these people in a position to have a new life after with the chance that he's given, then I am okay.
Mhm.
Listen, that's a lot of money. $30-something million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to get a pardon for. I mean, I was about to make a joke about Karen Huger getting pardoned, but I ain't gonna do it. But I'm just saying, maybe Katie was right. We pardoned. No, Karen. We're gonna let Karen sit in there and learn something after number 4.
Yeah.
But we still love you though. But we want the best for all of these people in their
Yes.
trying times.
Okay, back to Salt Lake. Salt Lake City is the worst dressed Housewives franchise.
I don't know if I'd heard that before. I mean, I feel like I love Angie's looks. I mean, I know they're over the top, but I kind of love
Bronwyn's
seeing her.
hot dogs and
Yeah.
hearts and
Yeah.
I don't think that they're the worst dress. I mean,
who do you think is the worst dress?
That's a good question. I mean, who have we seen? Here's the thing. So, like, I'm not really like a huge label whore. So sometimes when I see like any franchise where it's just like labeled down to the head to the toe, I'm kind of like, you know, like we can.
Mhm.
It's great, but like we can do better.
Yeah.
I know Atlanta does that a lot, but I love them. But like, they love a label.
I'm trying. Oh, Salt Lake. I don't think they're the worst dressed personally. I think sometimes they serve really great looks. I think sometimes we need to be like, maybe lay off the blazers. Not as many. Like, I feel like I see Meredith Marks sometimes with Brooks on his social media and stuff. And she's like off the show serving hard, but like it's kind of like she's going to work. So she puts on like business casual a little bit. And I feel like Meredith is gorgeous.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
want to see her
Obsessed.
like dressed for like her thing. But you know what? I don't think Salt Lake is the worst.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Beverly Hills. Garcelle is right about the PK and Dorit robbery situation. Ooh. I mean, I think it was evident during the reunion that many of the other women and maybe even production agreed with Garcelle, although no one else chimed in, which obviously Garcelle was annoyed by that because she's like, come on, like y'all have said this. But I mean, let's just say, even if it was true, there's no way Dorit had any idea. She is still a victim. I'm sure that was traumatizing. Was the whole leave the cell phone thing by the gate weird? Sure, but maybe they were just nice burglars. Like that could exist.
Dorit
They
would
weren't-
never put her children in that position.
Never.
She would never put
Never.
her children in that position. No mother is going to scare her children. As much as that woman loves her
Nope.
children, she would never put them in that position.
No.
There's no part of me that believes that.
And like PK's not going to put his kids in that situation. Like,
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
Don't
I think,
look at me. Don't read my face.
I think, look, I think that people have questions, but like when you don't have answers, it's to throw that out there on a national platform is like it's
I know.
it's bold, right?
It is very bold.
Listen, I ain't playing with PK. Emily, remember when Emily Hanks said one thing and it was like,
I know.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want no smoke with you, Paul.
Yeah.
No, like I don't want to get a lawsuit in my inbox or
No cease and desist.
Yeah,
No.
no cease and desist.
No, speaking of, I tweeted this yesterday because everyone, I guess, online, I very rarely look at the comments when it's in response to the episodes, me appearing on the Valley and whatnot. But again, someone sent me like one tweet. And so then I'm in my mentions and I'm like, well, what are people saying? And it was like a screen grab of me and Lala in the Jessie scene. And they're like, oh my God, look at Scheana. She saw cameras on Lala and just had to run over to get her camera time and stood there and didn't even speak. And I'm like, I love how you think that was just the whole conversation. It was actually like a 10, maybe 15-minute conversation with Jessie where we're both going in on him.
Oh, what did you say to
I
him?
think production did me a favor by leaving out what I said. Honestly, after seeing the response Lala got, I'm like,
Oh.
I will just stand there silent. That's fine. Because what I was going in on him about was stuff with his girlfriend, non-girlfriend, and things that I had seen, things that I had heard. And I was just telling him exactly how I felt about it. But then she sends cease and desist and all of that. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, everything I said to him that day, like they couldn't air it, which
Mhm.
I was actually happy about. But I'm like, I was not just running and being like, oh, the camera's on Lala. It's not on me. Like, I need my camera time. Like, I've had plenty of camera time. I will have plenty more coming up. I don't need to insert myself. I also was extremely self-aware this season that I am not a primary cast member. I am here as a friend to support my friends. So I'm absolutely not doing that when I normally would be when it's my full-time job. This is just my part-time job for fun.
Yeah.
You know, when you're at the reunion, you chime in when it's not really your place because that's your job. That wasn't my job. My job was to support my friends and have fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think production did me a favor there.
Wait, I'm curious, like, did you have fun being like a friend of for the first time?
I did. I actually did. I felt less pressure to, carry a storyline, stir up shit where it's like, the season finale. And if you feel like it's boring, then you might say something that is a little out of character just to piss someone off. And I didn't feel I had to do that at all for the first time ever. And so I think coming off of season 11, and then this would have been the time we were filming season 12, it was nice to go and film the Valley as a friend, then to go back in for season 12 and have forced conversations. And yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Did you see the thing on TikTok this weekend where it was like, don't do it. It was like, can't keep my hands to myself. I probably would if I would want to. And this this girl goes like, don't do it. Don't pretend you're Scheana Shay pointing at your it's all happy.
Yes,
Yes.
I saw that one. Okay, back to Beverly Hills. I love Teddi and wish she would get her diamond back.
I think that I'm really interested in seeing, obviously, her journey because she's been so transparent about her health and everything.
Yeah.
And like, I want to see that.
I do too.
And I mean, I like Teddi. I like Teddi
I
on
love
Big
Teddi.
Brother. I like
Yeah.
seeing her on stuff. And it is a very interest. Like, it's not like, as a person who's like, mother is fighting cancer right now, like, I do want to see those stories that hit home and that reflect.
Mhm.
And that is a very real story
Mhm.
that is happening. And so for all that everyone talks about storylines, like, remember, those are the moments that remind us this is a real life.
Yes.
This is
Mhm.
someone's real life. This isn't
Yeah.
just always necessarily a story, but we've also been like invested in this person's life.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know. I think about like her kids and like them having
Yeah.
some way to like look at this time for her and reflect on it, and like just even to have like those videos to look back on.
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I do think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
I agree.
her first season when I watched it, I was like, I like this girl and I need to be friends with her. And then I met her in person at Tom Tom, and I was just like, oh yeah, we're friends, and I love her. So I would love to see her get her diamond back. Okay, next up, Kathy Hilton muscle-armed Bravo into not airing the Aspen footage.
Y'all are not gonna come for my girl. Y'all are not gonna come for my girl. We do not speak on Miss Kathy Hilton. You know what? I love Kathy.
Oh yeah.
I do. And listen, Kathy is smart. She's funny. And I don't believe that she's out there like strong-arming Bravo. I don't think she would. I think she would be like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know
they're
what I
like,
mean.
I'm not following.
Yeah. And if they took that as her strong arm, and that's on them.
Yeah, totally. Lisa Rinna carried Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before she left.
You know, I think that people were giving Lisa a really hard time at the end, but as soon as she was gone, exactly what I pictured, knew what happened, did. And it's like, wow, I really missed Lisa Rinna. I wish she was really back here. And now she's kind of like above and beyond it. I don't think she would ever come back. I don't think she'd
come back.
But like, she was a great addition. And like, again, like people find so much hate when they just find a character, but you have to like look beyond that. Like, but are they giving you the entertainment? Are you engaging because of them? If so, then let them be hated. But
let them.
Yeah.
You know?
We need a straw to stir the drink, as they say. And I do like it's taken into effect. Like she was having a rough time in that season. Mm-hmm. It's always going back and looking at the context of what that last season was, what was happening. She's like lost Lois. Like there's just a whole bunch of stuff that's there. And I think she kind of deserves some grace in that.
Yeah.
Because grief will make you act a whole lot.
Oh, for sure. We have 2 LVP ones to wrap up the Beverly Hills unpopular opinions. LVP is a narcissistic abuser, which is why Kyle tried so hard to please her, with Kyle continuing her cycle of abuse from her mother.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go back to that saying of normalize liking Lisa Vanderpump on Real Housewives and understanding her machinations there, but also having your feelings about Lisa Vanderpump on Vanderpump Rules. I do think Kyle could have had her back more in those things. I don't think it was one way of abuse. I think all them girls was messing with each other. I think they're playing a really interesting game. Mm-hmm. But I do think that in that moment and with everything that Lisa was going through in that particular time period, I do think she just wanted to have a friend support her and not be like, hey, like, I get that we're filming a TV show, but like, I need you right now. Mm-hmm. I don't need you to take this and be like, you're down, let me kick you a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what that last season was. And I completely understand that. Do I think Lisa Vanderpump of Vanderpump Rules is a whole nother story? Absolutely. Because she like can be the puppet master in that sense. Mm-hmm. Like
what?
Those are, I'm sorry. Bye, whatever. String. Like it was. That lady knows where all the bodies are buried. I believe that. No, darling, it's fine.
Last one. Lisa Vanderpump called RadarOnline and had them run the story on Dorit's dog.
I mean, look, I do believe that everyone in reality has friends in tabloids, and they will call those friends in tabloids, and it's fair game. Honestly, like if you have those people who are willing to run stories for you, then do it. And I just think that Beverly Hills, like, they know how Hollywood works. And so it's different than other franchises where their beefs like don't necessarily get to the tabloids in the same way. Now it does, because we've kind of entered that. But Beverly Hills, like, they know how Hollywood works, and you feed your friends stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna take another break and we'll be right back. If you know me and my husband, then you know we love to eat. We love Hero bread. And I'm going to tell you about this again because it is something we're both obsessed with. And I love that it's good for the entire family. And with Hero bread, you can focus on your health goals, but still indulge in your favorite bready meals guilt-free. So my personal favorite is the Hawaiian rolls, which are so good. Brock loves the tortillas. And when we have a chef in the house, she is obsessed with making flautas out of the tortillas. Summer loves the bagels, and they're all ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. So you don't feel guilty when you're eating it. You know that you're still putting something good in your body. And like I said, you'd never even know it's low net carbs, high fiber bread. I mean, the texture is so soft. It's fluffy. Whether you want to, grill something like a burger or pack some fresh wraps for your lunches for your kids for school, there's something for you with no compromises, just flavor. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code GOODASGOLD at checkout. That's goodasgold at HERO.co. But when we don't have a chef, we rely on our Factor meals because it is so easy to do. I've been eating Factor for going on like 2 years now, and it's because it is so convenient. It is so easy. It's like summer is here, more sun, more light, more time to do all of the things that make summer so special. And I'm talking about the season, but also my daughter's summer is special. And look, the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours inside cooking. And that's where Factor comes in. They have chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals that are ready in just 2 minutes that takes the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh, ready to eat. They come straight to your door, packed with the ice pack. So even if you're not home right when it gets there, they're going to be fine. Trust me, I've not been there for 24 hours and it is still cold. They have 45 weekly menu options. You can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals, calorie smart, protein plus, keto, like vegan, vegetarian, so many things. So enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/goodasgold50 off and use code goodasgold50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code goodasgold50 off at factormeals.com/goodasgold50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/goodasgold50 off. All right. Moving on to some other shows on Bravo, Unpopular Opinions. Let's start with Summerhouse. They need to get Paige, Ciara, and Amanda out of bed.
Absolutely not.
Let them stay in bed. The whole set, I gotta say, I don't remember many sets of many reunions for any shows, but this Summerhouse one is so iconic. The bed,
It's pretty.
the cushions and the comforter, the pillows, the robes, like the sloth by Andy. I mean, the details of this, it is just like a bedtime dream.
It's amazing, and I don't think they need to get out of bed. One of the best parties of the season, the bed party.
Yes.
One of the best set decorations ever, the beds.
Yeah.
Let those women stay in bed.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen, I want to normalize more women being in bed at all times. I love sleep. I love hanging out. If I could get my friends to come hang out in my bed and just be on our phones chilling, that's the dream.
I love doing that. I'll go over to my friend's house just to and we'll let her kids hang out in the living room and then we'll just go to her bed and just sit there on the phone, watch TV. Like, it's so fun.
Where do you think the gossip happens?
Yeah.
Like, if you want tea, if you want storyline driven, put some women in bed, let them talk their nonsense. Heck, even look at the boys when they were out on the little hammock and stuff.
Yeah.
Talk some junk.
True.
Bed is where the dreams happen.
Yeah.
Literally.
What are our thoughts on part 1 of the Summerhouse reunion?
I mean, I loved it. I felt like for the first time, I really got to see who Ciara is, like where she comes from. Because I feel like all I knew about her until then was the relationship she's got into and like they were all toxic. Now I understand where it's coming from. Like she does have, for lack of a better term, daddy issues, but she also has mommy issues because her mom also ends up in these relationships. So I felt like I learned so much about her, which I really loved.
Yeah.
I feel like Ciara has kind of like she's put that stuff out there, and I sometimes take umbrage, I think, with like you need to like lay all of your trauma bare to be seen as a valid person and a whole person. Like, I wish they would give her a more well-rounded story, because there is so much to Ciara. Ciara has been a nurse, an ER nurse, like all of these different things that make up her. She's a model. Like, there's so much to her story that could be fleshed out that she does not get. And it's just like, who's she with? Who's she with? Who's she with? Who's she with? And then Jesse Solomon. I do not like that this man's smoke is being put on both of these women. Like, he is sitting there playing a game. Lexi said on Watch What Happens Live that he told her, like, oh, like, well, I'm trying to do like with Wes, and like Wes got some clout off Ciara.
He said that?
She
Lexi
said that about him.
that he told her that he was like, he saw what Wes did with Ciara and that he was like trying to mess around for clout. And I think that he has these two women going against each other. And yes, like Lexi could have like worked on those female relationships too. But do I think that he was probably like, oh, like this girl doesn't like you, this girl doesn't like you, so that way he can still continue to say stuff and make
I
moves
see.
behind the scenes, so that way it's like she does want to stay alienated from those other women and not form those relationships because she already thinks they hate her.
Yeah.
And so I think that he's trying to keep everybody pit against each other. And then it's like he said that junk right in front of Ciara's face, like standing there like I was just trying to like make her feel good. She doesn't need you to feel good.
Yeah.
And he calls everything a joke. And I'm like,
I know. And Lexi's like, it's not funny.
Yeah.
None
Like,
of
you
it
go,
is
girl.
funny.
Yeah.
And also, have you been watching the videos that they post from like behind the scenes of like Ciara as Brantley?
Yes.
And like,
No.
so Ciara dressed up for one of their parties as like her
Yes.
nightmare of like the guy 6'5"
Right.
in finance.
Yeah.
And Kyle posted these videos of her just like throwing that thing in a circle, having a blast. Like it was
She
amazing.
gets so into character. I love it.
Yeah.
I'd like, and then she did the video with like the brawny guys.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Or they did like the little
Wait,
know,
like what Britney did? Like one of those commercial things?
yeah, but she's like, it's like the brawny guys come to the house and they're like, whatever. So what are those dudes?
Yeah,
The
like Kristen Cavallari
boys.
was dating. They used to
Oh,
go.
the Montana
yeah,
boys.
It's one
Yeah.
of those little like
Oh,
where they
it's-
go to the camera and
Because
dance.
Britney just did something like that too, and they were all in her kitchen. But I don't know if it was
Okay.
the Montana boys or
No,
whoever.
like it was the same guys that were in that video,
Gotcha.
but they were like with at the end of it, here comes like blonde Ciara as Brantley,
Oh,
like as like the
funny.
last like like dude in the thing. It was
I
amazing.
love that. I will say too, just meeting Jesse Solomon recently at Coachella, but then up front and being in New York and hanging out with him, I'm like, he is exactly who he is on TV. Like the second I met him, just exuded that Jesse Solomon Summerhouse. I'm like, I feel like I know you. And it was like we just met. But then about 2 weeks ago, my phone's ringing at like, I don't know, 10, 11 p.m. Jesse Solomon is calling me. And I'm like, is this a butt dial? Like, do I answer? So I was curious. So I answered it, and he just needed my advice about a situation that he was in. And yeah. But then I hear someone in the background, and I'm like, do you have me on speaker, motherfucker? Like, you got to give a girl a warning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is this? And like, oh, it's his best friend, like so-and-so. And I was like, hi. I was like, yeah, your friend got himself into a predicament, so here's my advice. And
I'm curious because obviously Jesse flirts with everyone. Did you feel like when he met you, he was like flirty with you? Just like he knows you're obviously married,
Brock was
but like,
there, and
okay, so here's the thing I'll say about Jesse and Marciano is that from the second I met them, a very flirty vibe, but in a platonic, never crossing the line sort of way.
okay.
But absolutely very flirty and complimenting right in front of my husband.
And if you had been single, you might think like, oh, this guy
100%.
is into me.
Yes, that is the vibe he gives.
Mm-hmm.
that's wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
I
he's
like-
so much fun. I had a blast with him. But
I know, but I'm just imagining like being in front of like Brock and just saying like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk real slick to your wife for a minute.
well, first of all, it's me, Jesse Solomon, Joe Bradley, Shep, and Brock. And it was just
Oh my
us who
God,
like
that-
ended up because we were
that blunt
walking
rotation.
like we were walking back to the hotel together. And the boys wanted to smoke a joint, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna walk back with you." And instead of
Literally a blunt rotation.
yeah, and then I'm like wondering, I'm like, does Brock remember that like Shep and I like made out and I couldn't remember if he remembered. He doesn't listen to the podcast, but as we're just like all out together, and then like him and Shep are like broing out, and
Oh my
but
God.
I mean, Brock, like he literally works with one of my ex-boyfriends. Like he's not a jealous type or anything like that whatsoever. And I mean, him and Carl are friends too, and Max and poor Brock. Anyway,
I feel like I'm like walking down like a Bravo lane of memories, and it's
Is
all
Shep a
these-
good
yeah,
kisser?
yes and no. So I've had good and bad makeouts with Shep.
Okay.
Depends on how much we were drinking
Got
because it got real sloppy after too many drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay.
But also, yes.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, let's see. Still with Summerhouse. They're too old to be sharing a Summerhouse.
No,
no.
I don't believe in ageism. I feel
Like-
like live your life. Like if they want to
So
have
you can't go on
Batty
vacation
Winkle,
with
what's
your
that Batty
friends?
Grandma Winkle or whatever, I'd let her in the summer house.
I mean, I would want to still do that with my friends.
Yeah.
I think, why not?
Listen, I am all for people having a life. Just because you are a certain age doesn't mean that your life needs to stop. And people like, you can't wear this, you can't do this, you can't. You know what? I was not driving over here, but earlier this morning I saw this thing, and this lady was like, "Our hairstyles are ruled by Saturn. And this is what Betty White would look like if you modernized her hairstyles." And I was like, we can't even like die in peace without people telling us
Right?
what we need to
Oh
be
my
and how much
God.
more beautiful we need to be
Oh,
to
Lord.
exist. Like, get your entire life together. No, let them people live their life. Let them be in their summer house. Bring back Summerhouse, Martha's Vineyard.
Yes.
And let us live in peace. And while you're at it, Southern Charms, New Orleans.
Yes, immediately.
So yeah, I think whatever. Share a house when you're however old. Who cares? Okay. Hannah should come back to Summerhouse. Yes. That's a popular opinion.
I think that she has just done so much more. I don't think that she could.
I just mean like she should come back to like, I want to see her more on TV. So like if it was a different show, not her coming back to
I could see her and Paige like sharing more of their sort of giggly squad life or that sort of thing. I think, in that respect.
I really would like to see them do like how they did the Valley, like do the city and just take those girls and let like they're fascinating. They all have stuff going on. They have careers. I want to see their actual lives. I don't want to see them like, ugh, I got to get through another weekend slog. I want them to go and just like show us what they're doing. They're doing so much. But I also understand an apprehension if you're like, do I have to give a portion of this if I talk about it? That's valid.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to Southern Charm. Katherine Dennis was a victim of grooming and abused mentally by Thomas. Ooh, I never watched that show. So what do we think?
I mean, oh God, this is a complicated one.
It's complicated. Katherine Dennis, if you go and you look back at the beginning of this show, for all that you can say, Katherine was like 20-something years. Like she was very, very young at the time. And so you do have all of these people. She's like got a great pedigree. Like she's got this background. Her family lineage is like goes back to like presidents. And so of course they're like, but she's also young and kind of dumb. Not dumb, but I mean like young and just like naive. And so you do have all of these men that are coming at her. Like, and they all did. Shep, Whitney, Craig, all of them came for Katherine. And then you have somebody like Thomas who's then like, oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do this. But they had this such a tumultuous relationship. But the way he messed with her head was so like, it was very intense the way that he expected her to be all of these things, especially like after she had the first baby. He expected her to be all of these things. And like he would trash her and talk horribly about her and treat her horribly. She tried to fit into this mold that he wanted her to be in when she was making salmon and putting mayonnaise on it. I really do think that Katherine's life, because of the way that obviously like people are going to come at you, but these are a lot older men that were coming at her and setting her up for this. And I do feel there is a little bit of ownership that needs to be taken on, especially on the side of Mr. Ravenel.
Yeah.
The problem is in the South, though, also, I feel like women like Katherine, and I don't know, her mother has passed away, so, rest in peace. But I think they're sort of raised by women that also teach them to sort of remain naive because that's how you're going to get married off and these sorts of things. So it's like, it's complicated because even if they do know better, they're not really taught or, it's not respectable in Southern culture to do that if you want to find a rich husband to take care of you. So it's very, it's the Southern way, which is why I think Paige was like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Like,
fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not raising a family here.
You have that layer of like, it is respectability. I grew up in Georgia and Kentucky and Alabama. So like the way that you are expected to like by 23, you're like, oh my God, I'm not married. I'm not engaged. I don't have prospects. I don't have like it is 23. Like that mindset where you start feeling like you're old and your life is over because you're not married and you don't have all those things. And that mindset will get to you because everyone's like, well, if you do that, nobody's going to want to marry you. If you do that, nobody wants to buy the cow when they get the milk for free.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much that kind of a world.
Yeah. Speaking of Kentucky, Brittany was only accepted by the VPR girls because they didn't see her as a threat.
I don't think that.
I mean, maybe some of them, but certainly not me. And not Katie, because Katie and her, like the two of us developed a friendship with Brittany quickest.
Yeah, I just always assume sort of in that group, any partner you bring in is just accepted by the group because
Right?
it's your friend's partner.
Yeah. Scandival was,
You're like, no.
Scandival was planned.
Absolutely.
No.
No.
God.
I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form.
This one about me. Scheana was Miami girl and Vegas girl. Ew!
What? But didn't
Miami
I
girl?
thought we met Miami girl.
We did.
Okay.
Watch the show, people. Know your history.
No, but
Scheana
people
was not Miami girl.
people
Miami girl's
do
a whole nother
think-
person.
People do think I'm Vegas girl, and that when I was talking about how he made out with a friend of mine, that I was just talking about me and like getting my guilt out in that way. I was like, no. It was someone different that I was talking about, which also aired on the show. I remember seeing it where he tells Katie, they're sitting in the back of the Sir Alley, and he says that he like made out with my friend Kate. And I'm like, of course, Kate. But it was another girl who, she was on first season. She was my choreographer for the Roxy. Used to work with her at Villa Blanca. So I'm like, no, that was Vegas. But I was like, I think it might have been someone else also. He was like a makeout slut. And but
Were you at a cheerleading competition?
when he kissed me, yes. For my little sister. She was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I'm
like
trying to make sure I have my lore correct.
Yeah, no. And then I did not tell anyone about that for so many years. I buried it. I just didn't say anything. And then one time I remember opening up to my friend Jamie, and I don't even remember how it got brought up. We were talking about something and I was like, do not ever repeat this. But like, I've never told a soul this. And then after we filmed season 10, I remember sitting down with Lala and telling her I was so glad that I had COVID and wasn't able to attend the season finale, because if I saw Katie just screaming at Raquel, I would have just blindly protected Raquel and defended her and probably been like, he tries to make out with everyone. He tried to make out with me. And I'm like, thank God that I wasn't there to have that moment. And I like told Lala that, and she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I think I've told like one person this before, but like, and she's like, never bring that up.
But even
And
in that
then-
situation,
What?
even in that exact situation where she was talking to her mama crazy.
No, not to Terry. Don't you dare disrespect Terry Maloney. No, but if I saw Katie yelling at her and didn't have any context, I probably would have just jumped in because I would have felt bad for little puppy dog Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
But then somehow season 11, we're filming and this gets brought up, certainly not by me. I've only told a couple people. Schwartz says he didn't tell anyone, but I'm like, so how does production know? How is this getting brought up now? Schwartz is like, I didn't tell anyone. And then, but then he told Lala in that scene or whatever. So honestly, no clue how it became a thing, but I certainly didn't ever want to film about that. Way to end the show. Okay, next. Jax is worse than Sandoval.
You know, Sandoval did get pardoned by Trump in The Onion, so I feel like
that was hilarious. And now he's filming House of Villains.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I feel like, you know, we haven't seen Sandoval enough recently. He's actually been off of the grid, which is why I was wondering if he was filming something. Because I was like, we haven't actually seen him in a while. Where I feel like Jax has been in our face every week with the Valley for it to not be like, is this not the most terrible man on earth? Like, we can't help but think
there's
he's
Jesse Lawley also. Last one for the Valley. The Valley is better without Jax.
Well, you know, I'm interested to see what happens when he gets out of rehab.
This is my feeling on it. And I feel like, I know that everyone's like, get this man off my television. Get this man off my television. But if I'm being 100% honest about it, I want a camera on that man because I feel like if there is not a camera on him, like there is no telling the like absolute narcissistic atrocities that he would rage out on Brittany. And I feel like she's a lot safer with that man on the camera.
I mean, she said she was down in Miami Swim Week this weekend and he was rage texting her.
I know.
Because I guess a follower was like, I saw Brittany out to dinner and she was with some brunette and a bunch of guys. And
cool, good for her.
Mind your business.
But Brittany said there was no guys. But either way,
Even if
don't
there
start.
was.
You know this man is gonna start rage. Don't let this woman get harassed. Like, don't send stuff to, like, I think people want to rile him up because they do think it's funny.
Yeah.
But also, like, protect the woman. Like, she does not need this.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I'll give it up to Stassi. She looked fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like, looked so good.
Oh my God.
But all I saw about Swim Week was Stassi
Mhm.
and like nothing about Brittany in the press. And I'm like, they both did it. Brittany looked beautiful. So I just want to give
I
her
didn't
her
even
flowers
see
as
that.
well.
She did
Okay.
cup she, and then
Yeah.
Stassi. I think it's because Stassi and Bethany walked back to back. So that's kind of like the
Bethany
storyline.
Frankel?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They bumped booties.
Dude, that was who like walked right before
Oh,
Stassi.
I didn't even pay. I just thought it was some like model walking up. I wasn't paying attention.
Bethany's been
she
talking about it
looks-
nonstop.
Oh no.
Girl, I listen. You got to give that girl her propers because she looked the fuck good.
Yeah.
She did.
Bethany?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'll have to. I mean, whoever was before Stassi, I couldn't stop staring at her ass. It was so amazing.
Yeah, I think
So
that
then it was Stassi,
like-
and then I just was fixated on Stassi until she walked off. I didn't even pay attention to the other person. I was
Listen.
like, holy shit, she looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
Stassi is a
Yeah.
gorgeous woman, and I like. Maybe I will go to the gym after this.
Mhm.
Honestly, like,
Right?
thank you. I have 2 kids.
The
and
thing
no
is, I don't
excuses,
even think she
guess.
works out. She just is naturally blessed.
Wow. Now we hate her again.
Yeah, but she looked really fucking good. Okay, moving on to some more, but first, okay, wait, one last quick break. We have so much to talk about today. Okay, be right back. Hulu is the place to go for your favorite reality TV. Hulu gets real. You love reality TV, right? You know every star, every scandal, every tear, and every triumph. You know who else knows reality? Hulu. That's who. With shows like The Kardashians, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Got to Get Out, Vanderpump Villa, and more, Hulu has reality TV covered. If you're into glamour and romance, things are heating up on Hulu. Catch new seasons of Project Runway and Bachelor in Paradise this summer. And coming soon, catch the all-new reality series Love Thy Nader, starring the Nader sisters. Plus, don't miss an all-new season of Love Island UK streaming only on Hulu. There's so much great reality on Hulu, it's almost too real. Next time you need your reality TV, go to Hulu. Hulu gets real. Okay, now we're just going to move on to some miscellaneous unpopular opinions. First one being every show is trying its best to reinvent Scandival.
For a minute, it did seem like it. Stopped picking the cameras back up when
Yeah.
nothing interesting is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not going to tell us everything that is happening. It's just like, here's an update. I saw the update on Reality Blurb. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Next, I totally agree when people get mad at their castmates for not being forthcoming about what's actually happening in their lives or hiding specific things. If you really don't want to be judged or perceived by strangers, good and bad, you probably shouldn't be on reality TV.
That's a hard question because I've never done reality. So it's like, I don't even know what's expected of you. And it's just like, can you keep any part of yourself? Like, is that allowed?
No, it's not. And this is actually something I open up about in my book. It's available if you didn't know this already for pre-order at mygoodsidebook.com. But just about times when I have done that. Time season 5 when I wasn't forthcoming about what Shay and I were actually going through and talked about his addiction, which, you know, I will always regret. That wasn't my place to put on national television, but I was hiding something else. But at the season 5 reunion, which probably no one remembers, I do remember a bit of this coming up, but I don't remember if it aired, but it is in my book. So anyway, next. Bravo needs to focus. You're like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I was trying to think about your lashes and like the...
Okay, Bravo needs to focus less on casting and get back to real groups of friends.
That'd be nice.
Yes and
but
no. It
it's-
depends on the show.
It's just
Yeah.
so hard because I think we live in a climate now where production companies, all they see are numbers. So it's like they're going to go to people that like, do you have a big following? Because you need to bring the audience. We don't even care. And it's like, if there are like good people that just are entertaining, who cares if they have the following? They'll bring the following.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
It's like Angela Oakley. Angela Oakley is a fantastic addition to Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she's also somebody they've been trying to cast for years onto the show. And now she's there, and she's shining and standing out in this season
Yeah.
where you brought back like 2 high-powered vets.
Yeah.
And I don't know necessarily. I like seeing like the people that know each other. I think that was always the magic of Vanderpump Rules, was like there was already stuff. There was already beef. There were already these extra layers because everybody knew each other in these various ways. And also because a restaurant is just the craziest place in the world to exist and try. Like, it doesn't matter what restaurant you go to. Everybody is like, I was about to say something. I had to remember, like, keep it PG real quick. But everybody is touching and talking, so shall we say. And like, it's natural. It's genuine when you see people hanging out like that. I like to see people, like, it doesn't feel weird to me that you would be on the Valley. Like, if I text you and I'm like, Scheana, what are you doing? I'm here with Janet. And blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
that's your legit life. So
Yeah.
that part of it is always weird to me because it's like, that's your real life. Those are your real friends. I think that people want this version of real friends where it's like a show like Friends, when everybody is hanging out and doing all this stuff, but we're grown.
Yeah.
And we got lives. But yes, we are like together when we can be.
Totally. The housewife glam teams have got to go.
I mean, I don't need them to be flown out for every trip because I
Right.
do want to just
Do your
see
own
kinda,
makeup.
wake up and just like go to the pool and just
Yeah.
like, but I also need you to like get it together when
Absolutely.
there's an event. I don't need to like,
No, for events, for interviews,
Yeah.
there should always be glam provided and on set for touch-ups. We don't have that. Just saying that they
Listen, I
should.
just want to say, in the Dungeons and Dragons world, when I walk onto those sets, I have glam. So I'm just saying, bravo. You can do glam if Critical Role and Dimension 20 can do glam. That's all I'm going to say.
But I do love to see housewives doing their own glam on trips. It's not every cast member who brings glam. And so when you see them just in the mirror doing their own makeup, I'm like, real. I love
Kyle
that.
sitting
But
on the floor doing her
yes,
glam.
but I love that. But
Yeah.
it's like also, I mean, yes, I do get my makeup done. Two things can be true and real at the same time. So I do like when you get to see both sides of it. Okay, a couple more of these. Bravo is working with the CIA because how many housewives who led normal lives after being on the show ended up in prison or in really big legal trouble?
No, the government has just now have departments dedicated to following these people because they realize like, oh, we have like a whale here. Like, people are just flashing money and we don't know how they're affording it.
Right. There was another one attached to that. I believe there are IRS and FBI agents that watch all of the Housewives franchises and then do their homework on their finances.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the only department of the IRS I'd work for.
Could you imagine your whole job is just to watch excessive spending on Bravo and reality television?
Yeah.
Okay, next. They need to go a lot trashier with their housewives, not rich influencers. Let's see what the real housewives of Myrtle Beach are up to.
I think there's other shows for that.
Yeah.
I think that Housewives, we do want some opulence and all of that. And I think there's other shows
It's
where
kind
we
of
can see
what it is. Yeah.
like the other sides of humanity.
I want to see a housewife who's overweight, broke, and happily married.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. Depends on how entertaining she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, what city?
Yeah.
No, I want to see I want them to go to a city that is just like random because those small towns, like I'm from Columbus, Georgia. Columbus, Georgia has like Aflac money. There's like TSIS money, all of these like small companies, but they also have like deep levels of resentment and all this kind of stuff. And like the level of shade that you can get from like old money people in the South. Like you can't recreate that. And I would love to see somebody's grandma sitting up on Housewives. Like that's what we need. We need more of like the Mama Elsas. Like we need somebody's grandma sitting up there judging with her whole chest.
Yeah. I know. Imagine like Sutton's mother, like a whole group of her friends.
Reba?
I can't even
Reba's
imagine.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I would watch that.
Right?
I might stop after a couple seasons. It might get a little hurtful. But
Yeah,
I'm going to watch
exactly.
it.
Hurt my feelings every episode. Like, damn.
Like, what did she just say? Am I feeling hurt or am I feeling convicted?
Yeah.
Last one. Tabitha Takeover needs to come back.
Yes.
All
Hands
of
down.
those old early 2000s.
What other shows would you want to see?
Oh, workout, the hair. What was the hair salon guy? The who's
Chaz Dean?
no.
No.
Pussycat Dolls is his sister.
Anton?
Anton. Robin Anton.
Yeah, and his brother. He
Oh,
had
okay.
the hair salon show or whatever.
Wait, what was the one with there was Tabitha Salon Takeover, and then was the strong lady. You know who I'm talking about.
Jackie Werner was the workout.
Yes.
And then Jonathan Anton had the hair salon.
I just want Tabitha Takeover to come back.
Yeah.
I love when she walked in, she's like, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
And she like had the same
Feels like
energy as that lady from
forever
the Weakest
ago.
Link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Family Karma. Did you guys ever watch that?
I
Yes.
didn't.
Oh my God, I want Family Karma to be back so bad right now because
So popular opinion for you.
no, do you like are you like aware of like what happened this weekend?
Yeah, I just saw. So do you want to fill us in on the drama?
Okay, so one of the big storylines that was always running along was like Monica and Rish like
Mhm.
were like, will they, won't they get engaged? Like he was kind of like a little Peter Panish. So they've been engaged or whatnot. And so she posted a picture on her story the other day of like, as he said, out of context condoms on the dresser. And she's like, these DMs from this lady that was like, we just kissed. He said like he was single, blah, blah, blah. And she's like blasting him. He's like, no, we've actually been broken up for a month. Here's video camera footage from the hallway of her moving her stuff out of my apartment with her friends. Family Karma. Like, I want Brian Benny. I want Anisha. I want all of them back on my television. They didn't get the promo that they deserved. Family Karma is such a good show. Like, I love seeing Southeast Asians just shining. The aunties on the show are just like, that's what I'm talking about. The aunties on that show, like everybody needs to have somebody's auntie they're judging. It is fantastic. Go on Peacock, watch it, run the numbers up, bring them back because I want to see this play out on my television. I don't want to read about it. I'm tired. My eyes hurt. I got macular degeneration. Put it on my TV.
One thing you left out is it was Magnum condoms. Okay. And I know Monica doesn't listen to Scheananigans, or at least I don't think she does, but it's like, we were just talking about this. Never post, never say that your ex has a big dick.
Yeah.
Why are you posting that he needed Magnums?
Yeah. No, like exactly.
Come on.
Like now he's definitely going to have his DMs blowing up.
Wait, were you doing it because of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives thing?
Wait.
Well, it
Oh,
was
no, we were talking
because-
about Marciano because
Yeah.
Hannah said it. And then, and then the Jordan thing. That's how it got brought up. I'm just like, no, small dick. They finish quickly. Just always say that, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that was a lot of unpopular opinions, and that was just some of them. There were so many on this thing, but that was good. Last story I want to do to wrap up this Hot Topics episode is about Kim K. So I don't know if you guys have heard this before. I think it was on the show, though, because I remember hearing this or watching it. Allegedly, after Kim Kardashian gave birth to North, there was someone in her inner circle who was leaking information. So Kim gave out distinct and fake pictures to a few different people who she suspected, and one of those photos turned up. So she absolutely knew which person it was because she sent a different photo to each person. So the streets and the comment sections, are saying this was what allegedly led to Kim's falling out with her makeup artist, Joyce Benelli. Again, all alleged. But what do you think on this? Do you think it was smart on her? Because I certainly do.
Yeah.
But it's also like sad, that she had to deal with this betrayal and go to such lengths to find out who she can trust. But if I had to do that,
yeah,
I would do that as well.
Well, have you done that?
Well, I talk a little bit about, and not with my kid, but a similar situation that happened to me last summer in my book. And I had to go to 3 people.
And you gave them like each different information?
Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, it was finding out who the leak was, and I got to the bottom of it.
I mean, I always said if I was like a public personality and I did feel like these things were weird, I would absolutely do that. I mean, I would hate to think that I have to like, for the people I trusted, trick them like that, but it clearly might be the only way sometimes, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So you found, well, I guess we're going to find out if we read, but like you found the leak.
And I'm sure once like the book is out and people read it, there's so many things that when I was just recording my audiobook, I'm like, fuck, I wish I said more here. I wish I went into this more. And then there was something, I was recently at dinner with Alex Baskin and he was asking about some stuff. And I told him a story and he goes, is that in the book? And I'm like, wait, shit. I'm like, I don't remember if I put it in the book or if it was in one of the drafts and it got taken out. But I'm like, if it's not in the book, you will be surely hearing about it on the podcast. And then I did my whole audiobook and I was like, fuck, it's not in the book.
Oh, no.
So I'll fill in holes for sure once it's out in the world, because it could have been 100 pages longer. You know, like there were so many things where it's like, what are people going to care about? What are things that people have never heard and have no idea about? Like I just told you about my chapter 3 story, which you're like, I never heard any of this. And I'm like, yeah, people don't know. It was something I compartmentalized for many years. And now I'm telling it in detail because something unlocked it. And I just remembered everything.
I'm curious because, you know, they say that if you have dreams where you're like naked, it's like you are feeling like very exposed. I'm curious, like after writing this memoir, have you been having dreams lately where you're naked or you're feeling very exposed or anything like that?
Not that I can recall. I feel like I've not been remembering dreams lately.
Okay.
But that is interesting. After I did the audiobook, I saved the last 2 chapters for the 3rd day. I could have finished it in 2 days, but I knew the last 2 chapters were going to be the most challenging. It's one thing when I cry on this podcast, you listen to it once and, you know, whatever, I was sobbing. But for an audiobook, something that's like timeless, that maybe will be listened to more and, you know, by I'm sure more people, I felt like I needed to speak with conviction, but emotion, but not be like, and so it was like having to take a Xanax before I did those 2 chapters, take 2 deep breaths, say 1 sentence, and then like hold back tears. Like part of it was quite challenging, but it's good. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. Jack's hole of the week. Reacting to Cassie's testimony in the P. Diddy trial, comedian Bill Maher said on Real Time with Bill Maher that a new #MeToo rule should be that women need to leave their abuser after the first offense. Tell the police right away. Don't wait a decade. Don't keep fucking him.
Shut the fuck up.
Goodbye, Bill.
Goodbye. You are my Jack's hole. It's like everyone can sit there and judge until it's actually them in a situation. You can say like, if this ever happened to me, I would leave. You don't know until you're in a situation how you're going to react. You can tell your friends, give advice what they should and shouldn't do, but until it's you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So
Bill Maher is a jerk. And if you ever want to hear like a funny story about how creepy he is, listen to the interview that Scheana Amanda did with Bunny XO or XO Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Where she talks about how when she was in Hollywood and she went on a date with Bill Maher, and like you'll just laugh your ass off.
Oh my God, no
he's
way.
Just such a dork.
That's crazy.
I always think about him in Corinne Steffen's book.
Oh God, that's it.
Yeah, but that fucker. It's like, how about instead of telling women what to do, focus on telling men not to abuse women.
Yeah,
like
how about that?
let's try that and stop speaking for women.
Yeah.
I hate that. And I also saw that it was something like 75% of women who were killed by their partners when they're attempting to leave or have just left an abusive relationship. So like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Kiki and Krystina, for joining me in the studio. Make sure to listen to Kiki weekdays on Radio Andy's Reality Checked. And you can follow Krystina on socials. It's Krystina Ariel and all over Dropout TV. And again, if you haven't already, please pre-order my book at mygoodsidebook.com. We'll be back next week and can't wait to get into more shenanigans with you guys.
Been searching for this all my